What's up? What's up? Hold on, I gotta get y'all that music back real quick. Give me a second. Get that back in here. As you can see, I'm still working. I'm still working out the bunker right now. You feel me? You don't know where I'm gonna be at. Hold on one second. Turn the music down. I was working out the set. Hey, what's up, Angel out there on TikTok? Appreciate you for stopping through. I was working out a Laylo Brown set. Laylo Brown presents Identity Groove Collective. Come on at 7 o'clock. But I decided to work out the garage today. I'm gonna go ahead and up the dough, so maybe y'all can see me a little bit better. My headphones ain't got too much length on them, so there you go. There you go. I like how this look in here. Let me start up my game. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for stopping through with me. We gonna do a little bit of talking here today, and then we gonna go on about our week for this beautiful Monday. I don't know where you at, but here it's looking pretty good. So let me get this game started. It's a nice sunny day outside. Angel, thanks for sticking around with us. It's a beautiful name, by the way. Angel. Shout out to anybody else. So today, we are talking about planning and execution as usual on this Monday. I got some good advice from some experts or professionals that I want us to listen to. I can kind of piggyback off of that. Well, not piggyback. I can kind of feed off of what they're saying to be able to deliver the message to you today. I don't got YouTube up. Let me make sure ain't nobody watching from YouTube. Yeah, y'all go ahead and join in. It's about to be 11:11, so y'all go ahead and make y'all wish when you get a chance. I know y'all can hear me out there pretty clearly. Hey, yeah. You see? Hey, this is my shop. I'm just stopping through. You feel me? I'm just stopping through the garage. It's funny. It's funny because ain't nobody visited the set like you visited the set, Brown, out here in the garage. So yeah, thanks, bro, for stopping through. Let me see if I can put this thing on Mac Mini speakers, and I wonder why it ain't playing back through the headphones. Let me try one more thing, y'all. Trust me, I'm gonna get a little bit of what's the name back? I'm gonna get a little bit of SimCity in for y'all today. I'm just trying to mess around with these mic settings real quick before I abandon. Check. See, I knew it was that. Check. All right. So I'm gonna leave that on mute. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna up this garage door. All right. All right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for stopping through, Brian. You already know. So let me keep my mic up. My. I got Eli a little microphone in there. So that sync offset ain't working. Check. Is there an extra mic playing or something? I think that fixed it. All right, let me get this game in here, and then I'm gonna get us our first message to listen to today. I hope everybody doing well. It's late, though. Why? Appreciate you. All right, there we go. Got my YouTube pulled up. Make sure I ain't missing no comments over there. All right. Appreciate everybody on TikTok who joining right now and stopping through. All right. So we are ready to go. I don't know how I'm gonna play this audio. The background music is gonna go out, so we won't have no background. Or maybe I'll keep a separate tab for the background music. Get SimCity pulled up. Oh, it's already open. So like I said, today we're gonna be talking about planning and execution. I'll give y'all a solid, how long y'all want? A solid hour and a half. A game time and play time. Alright. EA Games. Challenge everything. There you go, put that one over there. There you go. I'm changing things up today too. Just gotta make it that way. Hey, I mean, heck yeah. I already know. Alright, let me get this game in here. Glad you're able to do what you want to do, though, to be honest with you. Told you I was gonna set you up pretty good. That thing hot. Laylo Brown, y'all check out Laylo Brown presents Identity Groove Collective tonight from 7 to 9. If you ain't in there, then you're missing out on some good music, some good laughs, a good time. Sorry, I'm delayed. Sometimes I gotta do these things over again. And I could be set up before I go on here, but who wants that? Alright, cool, that's in there. Alright, now let's browse some of this. You think you know, but you have no idea. Okay, cool. That's better for me to not have no idea. So I think we might can use this one as I like the co-host idea. I ain't gonna lie to you. Alright, so let's see if it'll play through this. And get us something to listen to. So today I wanted us to listen to who actually inspired Earl. His name is Napoleon Hill, and the only reason I'm gonna listen to him for a couple minutes is because I got a lot of advice from Earl Nightingale. If y'all not familiar, Earl Nightingale is who we've been listening to a couple of times on the show, and he gives out great advice. That's all I can put towards it. So the person behind the person who inspired him is actually Napoleon Hill. So we're gonna listen to him just for a few minutes. See if I can get it to play. The main takeaway the reason I like listening to them is because whatever they put over the audio, oh man, it's relaxing, and it actually gets in there. It's not one in one ear and out the other. All right, so let's see where he at. What he talking about from the beginning? All right, I like where he's starting at right here. See. All right, so I'm gonna start with self-discipline. Let me see if I can get it to play through here. Hope y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me clear enough? I hope you can. Yeah, Brown, like I said, I like that co-host idea. I'm interested to see how you set that up. Now let me get Napoleon Hill up in here. Nah, it ain't working the way I want to, so let me replace this music. All right, here you go. I'm gonna get y'all. Let me get y'all this playing. All right, so this is our first um, message we're gonna listen to today, and this is
By
Napoleon
taking
Hill.
these 3 steps, you will have gone a long way toward appropriating the great master key to success. There is no such thing as something for nothing. Everything, including your personal success, has a price that must be paid. And the only price you are requested to pay for the present is the effort necessary to do 3 simple things that I have suggested. Now, before you begin to take the 3 steps I have suggested, there is one important fact I wish you to remember, and it is this. Control your mental attitude and make yourself friendly and agreeable with everyone with whom you are closely associated if you expect friendly cooperation in return. Indifference cannot create a mastermind alliance for you. A negative mental attitude can bring you nothing but failure. Remember always, you are where you are and what you are because of your mental attitude in which you relate yourself to other people. Remember also, your mental attitude is the one and the only thing over which you have complete control. Success is something which has to be planned, and success is something which has to be earned in advance. True, there is such a thing as luck, but just remember that luck is something you can create for yourself if you know the rules and follow them just as I give them to you. Remember, too, that success in the higher brackets of achievement can be had only by taking others along with you. And the best definition of success, which I know, is this. Success is the knowledge with which to get whatever you want from life without violating the rights of others and by helping others to acquire it. There is a known formula for the attainment of success, and it is as definite and certain as are the rules of mathematics or the principles of science. My purpose in these visits is to bring you that formula in simple terms that you can understand and apply. But I can never give you that for which you are not ready. If you are ready to advance into the higher brackets of success, you will recognize this fact by your willingness to follow the simple instructions I shall give you as we go along. This thing called success is a very profound and interesting thing because the line of demarcation between success and failure is so slight that it is often hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. For example, in my association with the late Henry Ford, I recognized that he had thousands of people working for him who had much more education than he, more magnetic personalities, more ability to make friends, and a much better chance of succeeding than Mr. Ford had when he was working for wages. But Mr. Ford had one simple quality the others who worked for him did not possess. The same quality I will clearly describe for you in my future visits with you. Meanwhile, I would be interested in knowing if you can describe this one simple quality Henry Ford possessed, which made him the greatest industrialist this nation has ever produced. In my next visit, I will give you a definite clue as to the success quality which helped Henry Ford spread his influence throughout the world and make himself richer than Croesus, despite the fact that he had only a meager common school education. Until then, please be of good cheer, will you? And just remember that your only real limitation is the one you accept and set up in your own mind. Well, this brings us to the success principle, which has marked the turning point of
All right, so oh no. All right, so that was Napoleon Hill talking to us about self-discipline And the reason I started there today is because that's the one main factor that you can control yourself is yourself. I spend time during the day just trying to control my breathing, trying to control my muscles by stretching and so on and so forth. And getting into that process is giving me some sort of extra ability when it comes game time. You see what I'm saying? So I'm practicing moving my muscles and stretching my muscles and loosening my muscles so that when I'm ready to get up or excuse me, when I'm ready to do more than just sit down, I'm ready to go. It's not a I need to stretch or I need to get loose again. Also, um, practicing different scenarios in your mind can help too, like different thoughts of how things could go. That's a type of exercise too, so that you can be ready for those circumstances or those situations when you get to them. And all of those things are the self-discipline part of it. Um, so with planning and execution, you got to have some self-discipline. So let me get another one pulled up here. Let me make sure I got the audio right. So that was Napoleon Hill, by the way. Now let's see what 19 Keys say about planning. I didn't get a chance to fully listen to him last time. All right. Mm. Mm. Okay, I want to listen to this one. This one sounds like it's gonna be.
Hold on. This.
All right.
It feels good to be independent. It's priceless. You know, it feels good to help the people you love and not have to ask. It feels good to be able to link up and be a rock star without saying anything that's going to hurt our culture, because I know how to make money off hurting our culture. I've done it. And karmically, it's kicked me in the ass.
That's Dame Dash, by the end. By the way.
You know,
man.
Priceless.
This Dame Dash talking.
You know, it feels good to help the people you love. And
this is Dangerous Solutions, Strategies and Dialogue of Mental Masters and Warriors, 19 Keys featuring Dame Dash from the Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe to that. I'm going to post a link to this in the chat so y'all can be able to check it out on your own. Like I said, it's 19 Keys featuring Dame Dash. On YouTube, Dangerous Solutions, Strategies and Dialogue of Mental Masters and Warriors, 19 Keys. Alright, so we can listen to it now. I posted it in one chat.
Have to ask. It feels good to be able to link up and be a rock star without saying anything that's going to hurt our culture, because I know how to make money off hurting our culture. I've done it. And karmically, it's kicked me in the ass. You know, to even watch a night, it feels good to be independent. It's priceless. You know, it feels good to help the people you love and not have to ask. It feels good to be able to link up and be a rock star without saying anything that's going to hurt our culture, because I know how to make money off hurting our culture. I've done it. And karmically, it's kicked me in the ass. You know, to even watch a 19 Keys, like, yo, I've been on stage and seen him in the audience. And now I'm on stage with him. You know, I'm looking for more partners. I'm not looking for soldiers, I'm looking for generals. And I'm willing to bet it all, because that's what I've done, and I've done it in real time, in front of everybody. It's not embarrassing to bet on what you love, to stand unapologetically behind what makes you feel good. And also, you know, good taste is cheap, where other people can't pay for it. And it transcends every dimension and vertical, where other people can't pay. And also, you know, good taste is cheap, where other people can't pay for it. And it transcends every dimension and vertical of who you are. So, what was the question?
Somewhere in there you answered it.
19 keys. 19 keys.
I appreciate my pops for teaching me how to be a guy.
From a boy to a man, and ultimately back into the natural state of being into a God.
As guys, we're supposed to always move with that higher self.
But I had to be able to execute it. Having knowledge is not power. The execution of knowledge is power.
Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave.
Because the only real knowledge you can get is knowledge of self.
This is the highest level. The highest level is ownership. The highest level is power. The highest level is sovereignty. The highest level is higher consciousness. The highest level is when we own our own culture.
Excellence at a very high level. Not eye level. A high like that.
Yeah, this 19 keys right here.
We're here for another high level conversation. 19 keys and high level conversation.
Earn your leisure.
We at low level, we at high level. We at low level, we at high level.
Coming to Oakland, it's different like going anywhere else on the planet Earth. But this is what made me right here. When you from Oakland, or you from the Bay Area, period, you got a different level of consciousness. For me, I'm all about taking this oath so that we get to the highest level. Because we only dangerous if we work together. If you control by what you see, you're low level. A high level observer controls what they see. I apply the meaning. We have to get to this point where we have complete autonomy and power. And most of the things that we do, we're being controlled by it, but you're just not thinking about it intentfully on a daily basis. Coming to Oakland, it's different like going anywhere else on the planet Earth. You know, this is what made me right here. When you're from Oakland, or you're from the Bay Area, period, you got a different level of consciousness. Even if you're not really into it, as far as your display, you know it. Because your environment soaked you in it. So people who come from Oakland got a different type of game. I know everybody in here understand. Right? But the thing about game is you have to refine it in order to be able to get to your highest level. Otherwise, you can be stuck by your environment. Because the game that you get, if that's what made the environment, and your environment ain't the highest level, then you don't have the game to get to the highest level. So we have to learn how to get game outside of our environment that they don't teach us. And so what I've been trying to do on my journey is elevate the environments that we live in by importing the right type of game that we need to play the game of life.
Thank you for tapping in. We listening to
I don't think that our generation fully understands.
So we listening to 19 Keys right now on the Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel. The title of the video is Dangerous Solutions, Strategies and Dialogue of Mental Masters and Warriors, 19 Keys, featuring Dame Dash. I posted a link in the chat, but you may not be able to see it. So I'll post it back in there just in case you want to go subscribe, you want to go do anything over there. But that's what we listening to. I hope you're having a great day so far today. I'm going to hop back into it.
Idea of freedom anymore. I'm talking about, from what I learned, the idea of what freedom meant. Growing up, to me, freedom was power. It meant you control things. It meant you control your environment, your schooling, your education. It meant you control the grocery stores, who feeds you. You can't be against the person who feeds you. You can't have power. This generation is all about getting their freedom from their sexual identity rather than wealth and control.
Girl, wait until you see this shade.
Unreal. It's a perfect
match for you.
So after this,
I have to blend 3 shades together.
Mom, what rock have you been living under? Undertone?
Yeah, so after this commercial, I want to hear a little bit about what Dame Dash was saying with this. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I know the teacher's coming back. I know everybody is hustling, bustling, trying to get ready for the open house and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's the reason why I got to be at home, because with the kids going back to school, I don't want to be 20 minutes down the road, 40 minutes down the road, and have to come back this way. So yeah, definitely. I definitely understand. Hopefully some of this good expansion pack to get it in on you and help you throughout the day.
In Oakland, I was reading something about Huey P. Newton, and he had this concept about revolutionary suicide. And he talked about the idea that a lot of people live circumstances going against their oppression, and they have reactionary suicide. Versus revolutionary suicide is fighting for your freedom against oppressors, where you end up dying. It's not that you're suicidal, it's that you no longer fear death. And we're at this point right now where you have to make a choice, because there's too many people who die while living. How many of you all know somebody that's a shell of who they used to be mentally, spiritually? They was bright. You thought they was going on a good trajectory. Now they mentally gone.
Yeah.
That light bulb, that idea for their future that you have for them no longer exists. Yeah. Whether they dead, they in jail, they on drugs, or they just mentally unstable. So we got a spiritual warfare that we facing with, and we talk about mental health a lot in this country, but we don't deal with spiritual health. We don't deal with the physical health or the brain health, so we can't really address it. We don't deal with the environmental health of the environments that we live in. Growing up, we got game, but only on certain things. We didn't get the game of how to build wealth and understand finances. We didn't get the game of how to put ourselves in positions of power so that we can have political power. So today, we still working to bring about the dreams that our ancestors had. Huey P. Newton understood that revolution was going to come, but not in his time. He believed that this was the time after him. So for me, it's about revolution now. I believe in being rich and righteous. So we got to take a lot of the concept that they gave us, and we have to rework them in the time that we live in today, because we got a different level of access. Time not the same that it used to be. What used to take us hours, days, or weeks can now be done in days. We got the internet. We got artificial intelligence. We have vast social networks that we can use. See, what I've been working to do this whole time.
The topic of the day is planning and execution, as always on Mondays. Right now, we're just listening to 19 Keys talk to us.
Just put myself on display, because I believe that in order for us to get to where we want to be at in the future, everybody has to take on a new title. And it's the very title that nobody wants to take. It's not the title of CEO. It's not the title of boss. It's not the title of influencer. It's the title of being a leader. Nobody wants to be a leader anymore. They killed that spirit of a black man or a black woman standing up saying that I'm going to lead the cause. So now we don't have leaders in the family, right? We got everybody just following followers. Nobody is following leaders anymore. And we are being influenced by somebody else who's being influenced, who is influenced by somebody else. We don't even know where it starts.
Right.
So when we talk about gaining power, it first starts with self. I'm a walking example of everything that I talk about. So nobody can make excuses around me, because I don't make excuses for myself. And I don't.
This is a commercial for a Little Caesars large pepperoni thin crust pizza for $7.99.
Oh, a thin crust commercial.
Bingo! Those toppings go right to the edge.
Take me to the edge.
Listen to that crunch and check out that cheesy, crispy crust.
All for $7.99?
Exactamundo. $7.99 for the pizza that everyone wants to get their hands or claws on.
Sorry, claws?
Walk in and walk out with a large, hot-ready thin crust for $7.99 at Little Caesars.
What it actually looked like. But
and I don't feel sorry for nobody. I travel around the world. Shout out to my brothers EYL. I travel around the world with them, and we get the gracious ability to sell out stadiums, to sell out venues. And it's a representation that the paradigm is changing, that what people are interested in is changing.
Hey, what's good,
Y'all may
Allie?
have seen me on the Breakfast
Allie
Club.
Limitless in the building. Appreciate you.
Y'all may have seen me on Drink Champs and different places, and people be like, how the hell Keys do that?
Thanks for tapping in. We listen.
You know, first thing they think, black man successful, you got to be selling out. I tell them, you see them standing next to me, they sold out to me. It's different.
All right, so we listening to 19 Keys. I know you just hopping in here. So we listening to 19 Keys. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they have the Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel. And this video is Dangerous Solutions, Strategies and Dialogue of Mental Masters and Warriors, 19 Keys, featuring Dame Dash. I posted the link in the chat if you want to go check it out for yourself. We going to listen to this. And we talking about planning and execution, by the way, today, every Monday on Expansion Pack. So we're going to listen to a few more minutes of this, and then I'm going to go to where Dame Dash, he actually talking with Dame Dash, because I like hearing Dame Dash talk about himself and about his experiences and just the knowledge that he passed off. So, yeah.
But we don't think of it like that because we always get a devil power. We don't give God none. We know all his plans. We don't know none of God's, though. We got a conspiracy for everything that the devil go do. Yeah. Every way he go use technology, the world. But damn, what is God doing? Is he just sleeping, waiting, watching?
Run it back. I like what he just said.
So I'm like, when you see me, you see God planning. You see God plans. We don't know. Next to me, they sold out to me. It's different. You may have seen me on the Breakfast Club. Y'all may have seen me on Drink Champs and different places, and people be like, how the hell Keys do that? You know, first thing they think, black man successful, you got to be selling out. I tell them, you see them standing next to me, they sold out to me. It's different. But we don't think of it like that because we always get a devil power. We don't give God none. We know all his plans. We don't know none of God's, though. We got a conspiracy for everything that the devil go do, every way he go use technology, the world. But damn, what is God doing? Is he just sleeping, waiting, watching?
Wow.
So I'm like, when you see me, you see God planning. You see God moving. So that representation of when you see me on the Breakfast Club or you see me out there in the world and we moving, that's because I learned how to strategize. You can't be a general in a war if you don't know strategy, right? But we become so reactionary that anytime something happens, it controls us. That's low level. If you control by what you see, you're low level. A high level observer controls what they see. I apply the meaning. I apply the structure. I create the demonstration. I kick down the door that the gatekeepers put up. Don't applaud them, applaud me. They ain't changing nothing. I'm coming in here and changing it. Because when you're a leader, and I'm not talking about just leadership where, you know, it's deceptive. I'm talking about mindful leadership. Mindful leadership, we move with empathy and compassion.
Yes, sir.
We learn how to understand, and we become servant leaders.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you the game plan, but I'm going to make sure that I work for the people in order to bring it out.
Bring it out.
This ain't about no money.
Yes, sir.
We know how to get money digitally.
Hey, appreciate that.
I can get that on the internet.
Appreciate you, yo.
I didn't travel and fly my brothers and the cameraman and everybody out here. I'm servant leader.
Pause that real quick. Like when him and Billy Carson get together and have talks too. I didn't know. Oh man, I'm gonna have to check that out. So for me, I'm just starting my 19 Keys journey. I heard about him like maybe a year and a half ago or at the beginning of the year. I know it's been like almost a year. But when I first heard about him, I went and checked him out, and I forget which lecture I listened to, but I don't think it was him. It was just one of the other guys. I forget who the other person was that be rolling with him, the name of the other person. But he was speaking, and he was speaking about biology and chemistry and eating healthy and all of that. And I'm like, yes. Let me just sit down and let me listen. So, yeah. Appreciate you, Allie. Tossing me them bits, girl. That's my girl. All right, so I'm going to get back into what he was saying. Just had to pause for a second.
I'm going to give you the game plan, but I'm going to make sure that I work for the people in order to bring it out. Today, this ain't about no money. We know how to get money digitally. I can get that on the internet. I didn't travel and fly my brothers and the cameraman and everybody out here so that we can get money off this crowd. No. I wanted to bring something back to Oakland, but I understand you got to leave so people can see your light first. When you're too close to it, people get blinded by it. They get used to it.
Yes,
they don't. Oh, go ahead.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
You got some water? You're too close to it, but I understand you got to leave so people can see your light first. When you're too close to it, people get blinded by it. They get used to it. They don't. Oh, go ahead. You got some water?
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
We love commercials around here.
Brother asked the question, how many people in here believe in themselves? If I ask you what was your 5 core values, how many people can say I'm fast? If I ask you who your top 5 rappers, how many people can say I'm fast? See, that lets us know where our mind is in culture. Our core values ain't right there at the front of our head, but our top 5 rappers are.
Wow.
So when you think about what's limiting you, that's where you start. Where your core beliefs at?
Yes, sir.
Is it respect? Is it honesty? Is it loyal?
Yes, sir.
Is it truth? Is it actualization? You can't spit that, then how do you know that you actually moving in regards to your core values?
Yes, sir.
We don't. I like to get us to think a little bit. Right? Because you can't get no power unless you think.
Thinking.
Today, we got to deal with artificial intelligence, and a lot of people are afraid of it. Oh, man, it's going to end the world. I hope it do, because I don't like the way the world running. We got to start a new world. The thing is, when a new technology comes, we have to learn how to use it for our benefit so that we can have power. Do we have enough power today? Come on, man. Ain't nobody want to say it out loud, huh? You know we ain't got no power, man. Brothers trying to figure out who gonna buy BT. We ain't got no power. You know what I'm saying? We trying to figure out who gonna control black television, black entertainment television, and fighting at that. There ain't no power. They say Donald Trump was about to get arrested. They said the mothership was coming down. They said artificial intelligence about to end the world. They said the bank crisis is happening. On top of all of this information that you're getting, you got to deal with your own life crises. So we just got out of COVID. We just got out of restrictions. We just got out of health crises. We still in a recession. We have all these things on top of each other, but we never have time to process any of them. So therefore, our anxiety is at an all-time high. Testosterone is at a 40-year low. You know, a man can't focus when his testosterone low. He can't even think right. You can't even be a man. So when you do tasks, testosterone makes you feel rewarded when you get it done. But when you constantly filled with anxiety and stress, you don't want to do nothing but indulge in escapism and entertainment. So therefore, that's why it's at the forefront of our heads. We can say our top 5 rappers, but we can't say our top 5 core values. So my goal is to get you to focus. Because if you can focus, then you can take over the world. If you grew up in Oakland, California like I did, then you've seen men who had power. Growing up, I always tell people that my paradigm was just different. Shout out to La Russell in the building, it's just different. But I seen black men riding through the streets in motorcades. I was in a motorcade. Right? We'll hop out. We got the suits on. Left feet, right feet, left feet.
That's right. That's my guy.
Hair salute, ready front, parade dress, cruising hut. That was different. But what we was doing was showcasing a demonstration what it's like to be a man and stand up for something.
Yes, sir.
And how to listen to another black man without ego. So we was getting trained, but I didn't realize I was getting trained for the position that I'm in today. So when somebody asks Keys, what book you read? It ain't in the book. It's in life. You can't get this in no book. You got to go through some training, some experience, some life for real. It's many scholars who done went to schools and got education. You don't win no award through a college degree. No, you got to get out here on the field.
All right, we're going to stop right there, and then I'm going to go forward. Let me see. Damn, that hit home. about top 5 values. I know, right? So once again, here on Expansion Pack, I play the game. You may get notifications from me if you will follow or subscribe. But shout out to Ali Limitless, shout out to Laylo B88, shout out Zanita67, Odessia DW, Jazz Odette, Yoshi Savage, Mar Beauty 888, all of y'all. Anyway, but you may see me playing the game. You get the notifications. You may see me playing the game, and you may tap in when I'm playing the game, right? But on Expansion Pack, no matter where we at, we trying to find our route so that we can grow. And a lot of this platform is going to be used for, I don't know what it's going to be used for, but at some point I'm going to use it to grow, and that's what this show is about. So I'm glad that hit home about the top 5 values, because I can go to the kids right now and be like, what's this math problem or the answer to that question, and they might not know, and then I hit them with some BS like, well, what's the lines to the song, and they can pull it out. But then in the inverse, you can do that same thing to me with the core values. So yes, that one hit. So I'm gonna fast forward to him talking with Dame Dash real quick, so we can listen to some of that conversation as well.
But what happened? How come,
Some people seem born to be leaders, but that's not how it works. Leadership takes practice and discipline. It's not a gift, it's a choice. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Yes, sir. That's what Key's talking about.
Make more income in their business, right? When I started high-level conversations, I knew that I couldn't do it like any other show.
Girl, wait until you see this shade.
They ain't letting me skip it, so y'all chill and listen to the sound of my voice for a couple seconds. I'm gonna type a message on TikTok. Thank you, everyone, for joining. There we go. All right, it should be back. Damn, did they pause the ad? While I was looking at something else? All right, here we go.
And from the matrix or the programming that's in the world on a daily basis.
Well, for me,
because most of the now we are a society because they studied human behavior and figured out ways to control people. And now we are a society that's not based on needs, we based on desires, right? But I want to ask you when it comes to detaching from the program, because most of the things that most people don't even realize that they be in control. They think that really comes from them. How does a person begin to detach from the matrix or the programming that's in the world on a daily basis?
I don't even want to beginning. And let the beginning of the conversation play, because I don't want to skip around in the conversation. I want to at least have the opening of it in there for us to listen to. All right, so here we go.
Potential waiting for activation. So when I see God is allowing you to do.
To get there, but unless and develop, seeing you want your life to.
Dang, man, what does it mean to control the future?
Controlling the future is visualizing what you want your life to look like and architecting it. Seeing what your perfect future looks like and developing a roadmap and a blueprint to get there. But unless you know exactly what you want, unless you know exactly what makes you feel good, then it's hard to get there. And then when you get there, you won't even know. So you got to know what you love, and it's important to dream.
You always say vision gives direction. You know, any man that don't have a vision, he blind. He don't really have a direction for his life and where he going and what he want. So most of the times when people see new technological advances or we see things going on in the world, if you don't have a destination, you can be pulled in any which way. And or you wouldn't know how to use those things that will be aligned with what your vision is. Yeah. So for a lot of people out there, I feel like there's a lot of people that still want to cultivate a strong vision, but they don't know how, right? So what's your blueprint when you going in your imagination and you figuring out new ways to live, new ways to do things?
Well, bottom line is I win. It's about the W. So if things are approaching that are new, where like, let's say, for example, like an AI or a metaverse, Web3, where a lot of jobs or things that existed a certain way will be taken, then that means there's a lot of opportunity that presents itself. So whenever I look at something, it's how is it a W for me?
Yes, sir. So we got Zanita67 said, unless you know exactly what you want, wow, yes, yeah. That's a lot of what, the reason why I started with Napoleon Hill, I don't know if y'all been in here the entire episode, but the reason why I started with Napoleon Hill is because that's a lot of his message. A lot of his message is just finding out what you want in life, or what it is that you're headed to, or how it is you want to get there, you know, because if you don't know these things, it's like you going nowhere. You're going around in a circle. So, or not even in a circle, you might not be going nowhere. So yeah, let me finish playing that.
Which ultimately becomes a W for we, because when it's how is it a W for me, you know, which ultimately becomes a W for we, because when I win, everyone I love wins.
Yeah. You know, my formula is, especially with the AI conversation, artificial intelligence plus natural intelligence equals enhanced intelligence.
Yes, sir.
It works better if you're already smart, right? Because it's like having the smartest person in the world work for you. But this is a technology, the same way social media, the internet, and all other techs, it usually end up controlling people who don't have control over themselves, right? And so when it comes to like discipline, right, I always tell you, you have to be a disciple of something in order to be disciplined. If I want to be independent, I'm going to study somebody who's independent, become their disciple, and that becomes my discipline. So now I know when I'm veering off to the wrong path or not, because I'm no longer a disciple of their core values and the way they move, right? When it comes to discipline for you, right, how do you stay, it ain't even stay, but just how you cultivate, you know, the integrity of discipline, right? I've seen 99% of people who get a little money, a little fame and success, they lose their integrity, quickness, you know, because men are not men no more. In my essence, the way I believe, I'm sure a lot of people, they with the new masculinity, that's not my bag. You understand me? The way I grew up, a man has the ability to be willful, meaning that if it's a thought in your head, you have the ability to bring it into reality. And that's the way you can measure if you're a man or not. So what's your measurement of discipline, integrity, and manhood?
Yes, sir.
Again, I visualize my dream. Once I know my dream, I'm not stopping till I get it. And, you know, for me, it's about what makes me happy, not what makes everybody else happy. But, you know, sometimes we're programmed into believing happiness is something that they want us to think is happiness so that we can be controlled, so we can spend a lot of time trying to achieve something that doesn't exist. So it's about really being true to yourself. But at the end of the day,
if you find yourself in a box that can no longer contain you,
he drilling, and he about to tell y'all about the Navy.
Bigger box. Find your next level at ArmyCivilianCareers.com.
You know, like, you know, I'm on like a school tour where my fiance wrote a book about dreaming about my son, and we're going into certain marketplaces and teaching these kids how to dream. And, you know, in the process, I'm talking to the high school kids. And honestly, they know they want to go to college because that's what they've been taught, but they don't know why they want to go to college.
Right.
They don't know what life looks like after college. They just know that if they don't go to college, that they're not successful, and that, to me, is a program. So for me, it's like, to understand how to talk to somebody, you got to know exactly what they want, exactly what makes them happy, so that you know what language to speak to them in. But at the end of the day, what's been taken from us is our dreams, is what our perfect visual is that makes us and everyone that we love happy. And, you know, always my ultimate dream is, you know, to have a family and to make sure that my children and the people I love never have to go through the same pain as me. You know? But architecting every single part of your dream is very important. So, like, the question I've been asking people lately is, what does heaven look like when you die? Not what does it feel like, but like, you know, if time is measured in that vibration, what does it look like when you wake up to when you go to sleep? I'm going to pose that question to you. What does your heaven look like?
This is my heaven, to be honest. I got my pops, I got my brothers here, and I'm a person who heavily centered around family, right? So for me, if my family is healthy, everybody doing good, I'm feeling good.
That's an emotion. When you wake up, what time do you want to wake up in heaven?
I don't want to wake up in heaven.
I'm saying when you get there, not to say we want to get there sooner. But for me, let me give you an example. For me, heaven looks like I wake up when I feel like it.
Heaven is like money, good homes, friendship of all walks of life. That's my concept of heaven. So for me, my concept of death is blank.
I wasn't talking about death. I was talking about heaven. Right. So let me
if heaven was a reality, I'll be living it. Like,
well, let me explain
I got money. Like, let me say this.
It ain't no money in heaven.
I gotta have some money, man.
In heaven?
Yeah, that's how you gonna tell my concept of heaven. We got money.
Nothing man-made is in heaven. It's only God-made. I think money in heaven is love, right? Which is what money in here should be.
Yeah.
So let me explain to you what my heaven looks like. Because if you know, for me, and no disrespect to anybody else, but like, if there's no music, if there's no weed, if there's no women.
Oh, we got weed with no money.
What I'm saying is, yeah, it ain't no money.
Yours is real
money
customized.
Don't mean, you know why? You want to know why? Having things means something to me here, but money doesn't mean nothing to me. That's why I don't have so much of it. I don't like to hold it. I like to get it out there and make life.
Yes, sir.
Because life is the currency and love is the currency that I abide by.
Sir.
Because that's God-made. Money is man-made. Money is supposed to represent how much gold is someplace, that's not even existing these days.
Right.
So I don't trust money. Money to me is the devil. I know that it's needed to function, to have a luxury experience, but money without love is hell.
Well, what about
money? Money without laughter is hell. Money without your family being happy is hell. Money is nothing, but love is everything. And you could create around love, because all you need to know how to do is grow and build and be in a nice environment. Like, you know, I like to be hot and be on a beach. If I could build my house and grow my food, and I'm with my people that I love, I might not need as much, you know, fundamentally. But all the extras are man-made things that we're distracted by to try to get to, you know, it kind of supposed to validate who we are. All I care about, honestly, is how I'm living, and I got to create my heaven here so I know where I want to go. And if God is architecting heaven for me, then I need to tell him the blueprint of what I want him to create for me when I get there. So it's important to create heaven here so that you have a blueprint of where you want to go and when you want to go, you know.
Right. So, like I said, I just talked about my heaven being real. Then he ended with his heaven on earth, right?
I started there.
See, because, like I said, so for me, heaven it's this. Like, being able to do what I want, that's freedom. Like, when you control your mind and your will, that's freedom for me, right? Being able to speak truth.
We got that now.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm living in heaven. Like, I wasn't always living here, though. You feel me? I had to build this up. There was time where I was mentally living in hell, right? So I worked myself to create my heaven, right? So when I can have my fathers and my brothers and my family and friends and peers in Oakland show up in a building and Dame Dash here, and we arguing about money in heaven, that's heaven. You know? Like, and I could be at a 9 to 5 right now. I'd be in hell.
No, you couldn't, because you wouldn't let that happen.
Sure.
But honestly, sometimes you have to experience hell so you can appreciate heaven.
Absolutely.
You have to hit some pain sometimes, so you expect it. So you can appreciate the luxury of not feeling the pain that you were once in.
I agree with that.
The one thing about having children, especially second generation, is they haven't gone through nothing, and they overreact to nothing.
Absolutely.
And, it's like, I don't want you to have to feel this pain to really appreciate your present. So let me go through the rough stuff, and let me just tell you how to appreciate the stuff that I went through so that you don't have to.
Right. Coming on that, adversity builds character. Unfortunately, it's a flip side to that, because a lot of people, like you said, without that duality, they don't know how to appreciate existence and the things they have, right? There's the wisdom of learning from somebody else's experiences. So I have an older brother, so I learned a lot from his experiences, right? I've seen all my partners with baby mamas, so right now I don't have a baby mama, right? Because I learned from the wisdom of the trauma that they was going through, right? And shout out to all the baby mothers. I don't mean it like that, but y'all know what I mean.
You got a wife?
I don't mean it like that.
You got a wife?
No, I'm working on it.
You don't want a baby mother, you want a wife.
No, exactly. That's why I ain't got one. But I mean it in the stance that this generation, I think, is, for lack of better words, soft, right? And what I mean by that is the things that were adversity for me that make me who I am, right? I mean, actual real things, like going through cases, going through struggles, really going through darkness. This generation, they deal with cyberbullying, right? And to them, that's their darkness, right? But for me, that could never even bother me, right?
If y'all want to keep on listening to this specific message, though, with him and Dame Dash, y'all just type in the chat and let me know. But I'm going to give it a good solid 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to move on to one more video and try to round this topic out for us today. And we still talking about planning and execution, by the way.
Because I built up my ability to go cyberbullying, right? And to them, that's their darkness, right? But for me, that could never even bother me, right? Because I built up my ability to go through the darkness. I can handle way more than the average person, which is why I don't mind putting so much on my shoulders. The things that I handle will kill normal men, right? Just the stress or the anxiety of taking that position. So when I talk to everybody about being leaders, I know that being a leader for some people, like just the thought of it, you barely teetering on the balance of good mental health. So just that idea of like, damn, I got to really lead and do something for the world. Nah, that's already eating you up just thinking about it. Right. So you got to get to a place of mental heaven before you can do something to help anybody else build out their heaven, right? And it may look selfish, but it's not. I think it was Ayanna Vazant. She said it's about being self-full, right? So when you look at it as selfish, you look at it as a negative when you focus on self-development. Right? So I know that even when I left Oakland, I had to go on that journey of self-development, right? And then when I come back, I can come back stronger. I can bring people together, right? Because I'm going to go on that journey of developing myself versus being in front of everybody trying to get validated for the things that I'm doing. Instead, when I showed the world, now there's people that didn't know I was from Oakland. But when they found out, they was proud like I was their cousin, right? Which is good. So now we on that journey of self-development, right? And then when I come back, I can come back stronger. I can bring people together, right? Because I'm going to go on that journey of developing myself versus being in front of everybody trying to get validated for the things that I'm doing. Instead, when I showed the world, now there's people that didn't know I was from Oakland. But when they found out, they was proud like I was their cousin, right? Which is good. So now we at this place where we get to really have that ability when it comes to each one teach one. Like if you don't put yourself in position, you can't do nothing for nobody else, right? Like, I'm happy that, for me, a lot of the things that I did with other people in collaboration is because me and my brothers weren't ready to work together. So I was like, well, I'm going to show you what this would look like if we did work together, right? So hopefully now that you see it, now let's build something, right? And so I know for a fact one of the biggest issues that people have is when it comes to family, right? Everybody struggles with that idea of family supporting their dream or their business or a goal. But I realized like they don't have to until I build a dream that supports my family, right? So when I did that, then the family can work with me and for me, right? So now I don't have to worry about if they support my dream because my dreams support them. So of course they're going to protect it. Of course they're going to support it because now it's reciprocal, right? And so that little bit of wisdom changed my life because I was no longer worried about that no more. I was free consciously to just go out there and build now, right? And so for me, that helped me cultivate heaven. Right? I don't pick up things I'm not ready for. Right? I'm not worried. Nobody can call me with an issue and problem to just dump shit on my life, and that ain't got nothing to do with my goals and my values right now. You gotta handle that. That ain't for me to pick up. That's for you to handle. Because I'm not trying to be nobody's crutch. So at this point of we talk about heaven, I want to talk about the skill sets of the future. How many people in here own a business? How many people want to, make more income in their business, right? When I started High Level Conversations, I knew that I couldn't do it like any other show on there. Like, I don't have a podcast, I got a show, right? And I said, let me study the way hit shows are made. Let me look at the elements that I would need to program into every conversation in order for it to be a hit, right? And so the intentionality of the way I design things is my genius. A person may look at it as a thought leader, it is, but no, I'm a producer, I'm a director. And so a lot of times when we take on new projects, we don't really take on the hats that's needed in order for them to be successful.
Yep.
Right? We don't really study the art and the science of it. And this is why we really lag and we behind on things. Right? But now we had 25 million views, and that's at the behest of people saying that wouldn't work. Nobody want to hear that conscious shit. Right? But my whole life is proving that people do want consciousness.
Excuse me. I got to hear that one more time. I'm sorry. Hold on. Because I hear that so much. Oh,
really
I heard
lag
that so
and we
much,
behind
I
on
just keep
things.
Going. I kept
right?
going.
But now
still going to this day. I promise you. You get it. Oh, man, it make me cry. You get it from so many different places, but how do you ignore what you here to do? How you look at the phone and the call ID say your purpose, and you like, nah. And so I keep going and I keep persevering and I keep being strong in the light of whatever it is, whatever the enemy against being consciously aware or a critical thinker is. Whatever the enemy against it is, I keep going. I keep going. And he used the word behest. Let me see what that looked up. At the behest of those who don't want to hear that conscious shit. Well, take your ass on. Excuse me. A person's orders or command. Okay. Yep. So look.
25 million needed in order for them to be successful.
So
a person may look at it as a thought leader, it is, but no, I'm a producer, I'm a director. And so a lot of times when we take on new projects, we don't really take on the hats that's needed in order for them to be successful. Right? We don't really study the art and the science of it. And this is why we really lag and we behind on things. Right? But now we had 25 million views, and that's at the behest of people saying that wouldn't work. Nobody want to hear that conscious shit.
Hold on, my thing on fire. Hold up. My casino is about to burn down. Hold on. Gotta pause the keys for a second. Hold up. Get that fire truck over here. I'm sorry, y'all. Lord. Why you ain't tell me it was on fire, man? Whole building about to burn down.
Be successful. Right? Take on new projects, we don't really take on the hats that's needed in order for them to be successful.
Yes, I know.
Right?
So,
we don't really study the art and the science of it. And this is why we really lag and we behind on things.
I don't want to keep pausing it too much because I really like to just sit and let it play. But I do want to say this. I know where to find the sources of awareness. Let me say that in a different way. I know where to find the shit that's going to wake you up if you want to be awake. If you don't want to be in a state of confusion and unknowing. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to lead you to all of the answers of the universe, or that the world ain't going to be a place that you hate. You might still hate it. You still might have some questions and some answers on some things that you're not going to get from the information. But we just need a pointer sometimes. We just need a map, or we need a clue on where to go. And I got all of the clues. So I'm glad you're enjoying this, Anita67. Yes, he is really talking some real stuff. Like I said, this is 19 Keys. You can go search 19 Keys on YouTube, or probably anywhere where podcasts and stuff is at. They have the Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel. It's him plus some other speakers or some other black men who come together to give us this knowledge or to speak on these things. So go check them out, definitely. But I'm going to get back to it. I just wanted to say that.
Had 25 million views, and that's at the behest of people saying that wouldn't work. Nobody want to hear that conscious shit, right? But my whole life is proving that people do want consciousness. It's just not sold to us. And so we at this place in the world where, I've been studying a lot of Edward Bernays, who's a psychologist, to where he manipulates people's desires. And his whole thing is he created public relations. He's the reason why people eat bacon in their breakfast, or women started smoking cigarettes, because they studied human behavior and figured out ways to control people. And now we are a society that's not based on needs, we based on desires, right? But I want to ask you, when it comes to detaching from the program,
this the part,
because most of the things that most people don't even realize that they being controlled, they think that really comes from them. How does a person begin to detach from the matrix or the programming that's in the world on a daily basis?
Well, for me, anything that's been presented to me has been presented to me to control me. So my rule of thumb is go against the grain. And to never try to fit in, to do things different. I never want to be like Atmosphere in the video game. I would rather be the player. And I'm always looking for the next thing that no one else has done. Because usually what I'm looking for when it comes to that is independence and freedom, and being and doing things that are economically quicker and give me more bang for the buck. So for me, when I did that Breakfast Club thing and I was telling everybody to quit their jobs, what people weren't understanding is I had just quit my job.
It's Safari Hall time. First up, Makeup by Mario Foundation.
Commercial. All right, we back at it. I'm gonna go all the way to at least 12:45 today, y'all, so we can get most of this message out there for us. So just keep on listening and chime in the chat at any moment if you want to. All right.
And the reason why was because my job was Rockefeller Records. And the reason why was because it wasn't Damon Dash. I was helping other people get to their dreams, but I didn't have an asset that I could pass to my children. And I was spending more time with...
Garage almost went down on me. I'll leave it up. All right, there we go.
It's done. Because usually what I'm looking for when it comes to that is independence and freedom, and being and doing things that are economically quicker and give me more bang for the buck. So for me, when I did that Breakfast Club thing and I was telling everybody to quit their jobs, what people weren't understanding is I had just quit my job. My job was Rockefeller Records. And the reason why was because it wasn't Damon Dash. I was helping other people get to their dreams, but I didn't have an asset that I could pass to my children. And I was spending more time with people that I didn't birth. to make them money so I can make money off them than spending time with my children. So at that point, I quit. And it became, I have to invest in me. And a product that means unapologetically my point of view. Unapologetically the time that I spend for the art of whatever I'm creating. And to be consistent at it for an amount of time to where people will buy it and feel that they're buying a piece of that. And just recently, like as I'm telling everybody, yo, you have to bet it all. I'm betting it all. You Google me right now, it would be like Dame Dash is worth -$2 million or whatever, all that.
Check this out.
Yeah, because every single second for the last 10
Check this out. I know I just went on a rant about to somebody, either in a text message or something, about just following what it is you got in. It was in my last live. Just following what it is that you got in your heart. And if you bet on what you got in your heart and you lose, you still got some more and you can try it again. And again and again and again till you win. That's a good gambling habit to have.
I've been investing in me, my point of view, every single second for the last. Yeah, because every single second for the last 10 years, I've been investing in me, my point of view. Like CEO as a brand, or as a director, or as someone that's really fighting for others that he loves, you know, more than just himself. As I'm telling people what to do, I'm doing it. As I'm saying bet it all, I'm betting it all. I'm betting it all right now. And as I'm asking people to not to complain, because we all know the problems, we've been knowing the problems, they're the same problems. A cycle of problems means somebody's doing a good job in making sure we don't solve them. Because they keep happening. Once you know something, if it happens again, there's an issue with us, not them. So to be able to create my own curriculum, or rather a book that I could go into the school system and actually teach these kids a different way to do things, to be able to sell a sneaker for $250, CEO, have a brand that I could actually now sell without having to leverage someone else's celebrity, to be able to have movies coming out and have shot them independently and distribute them in theaters like they do it, but doing it my way and work with who I want to work with, to be able to present visuals to our culture that aren't us getting abused or us fighting each other, because that's all they show us of. That's been my dream, and that's what I've been fighting for real time. You know, so in this very moment, the inspiration has come from knowing every war that needs to be fought, fighting for the people I love, understanding that I hate business. I hate it. I hate money. But we need to actually have money to live a certain kind of life. But I ain't doing nothing for money. To be able to embrace my creative side and to do it in real time in front of the whole world, and for them to be able to learn from my experience and to know that when you bet it all, it looks good. And that you win if you're persistent about your dream and you can visualize it. And that you could link up with other people from your culture and have people gather and talk and architect the future for themselves, and that you can learn from any mistake or any learning experience that's being made.
Yes, sir.
It feels good to be independent. It's priceless.
Yes, sir.
You know, it feels good to help the people you love and not have to ask. It feels good to be able to link up and be a rock star without saying anything that's going to hurt our culture, because I know how to make money off hurting our culture. I've done it. And karmically, it's kicked me in the ass. You know? To even watch a 19 Keys, like, yo, I've been on stage and seen him in the audience. And now I'm on stage with him. You know, I'm looking for more partners. I'm not looking for soldiers, I'm looking for generals. And I'm willing to bet it all because that's what I've done, and I've done it in real time, in front of everybody. It's not embarrassing to bet on what you love, to stand unapologetically behind what makes you feel good.
Just in case y'all ain't know, this Dame Dash, you know, he was with Rockefeller and Jay-Z, just so y'all know.
And also, you know, good taste is cheap, where other people can't pay for it. And it transcends every dimension and vertical of who you are. So, what was the question?
Somewhere in there you answered it.
I'd like to know what it was, though.
I don't remember.
You remember?
No.
Yeah,
no, breaking the program.
Oh, yeah, I create the program. Forget the program. You know, and what I just did was an example of how I break the program by not paying attention to it and creating a new one.
This is a commercial for a Little Caesars large pepperoni thin crust pizza.
So, from this, I want to just speak for a couple seconds before I move into one more. Then that'll take us to our 1 o'clock hour. For this, it brings so many emotions up to the surface for me. As I'm sitting here playing SimCity, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and the reason why is because it just is, it's life. It's life. And I've always found that I like the games that mimic real life the best. I don't necessarily like those storyline games no more because they go, once the story is done, it's done. All right, we have the same birthday. Hey, that's what's up. Hold on, let me look that up. That's what's up. So, like I said, it brings so many, listening to him talk about independence, it brings so many feelings to the surface for me. And one of the feelings that it brings to the surface is just overwhelming joy. To the point that hold on, let me see. Yep, he's the same exact day. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, the same exact day too. Yeah, that's a lucky pick on a Monday, right? Because I just type in stuff on YouTube and then according to what we talking about, and then I go with what comes up. But listening to him talk about independence and, you know, kind of breaking free from the program or whatnot, it brings overwhelming joy to my eyes. And you know, when you overwhelmingly happy, sometimes you want to cry. So it really make me want to cry because the trajectory of my life has been pointed in that same direction. So as a kid, I'm sitting in my house to myself saying, well, this is possible and that is possible. I'm not going to be specific. But in life, I thought certain things were possible. And this ain't 8-year-old Dan. This ain't 4-year-old Dan. This is 15, almost 16, 14, 15, almost 16-year-old Dan saying, hey, I know this is possible. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I can do it. And trying, and within trying, from 15-year-old to 35-year-old, I've accomplished. For those who know me. And all along the way, were those who said I couldn't. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on that aspect, but I got to point it out for what I want to say and how I want to deliver this part of the message. Imagine what it is you want is up there, wherever up there is. And every obstacle, every person, every hater, every triumph, every success, every small bit of goal completed is getting you up there. The entire experience is getting you to where you want to go. My part of my whole music career started from somebody telling me, oh, I wasn't good enough at doing what it is that I like to do. So they didn't drag me down. They just help polish me up, you know. So listening to him talk and talking about the independence and finding your own heartstring to play brings overwhelming joy, because it proves I was doing it the right goddamn way the whole time. I've been doing it the right way the whole time. Oh. Shout out to you, Mom. All right. So I'm gonna move forward. If y'all want to go follow that YouTube channel, it's Earn, EARN, Your Leisure, LEISURE, Earn Your Leisure podcast. Well, on YouTube, I'm gonna post the link to their channel in the chat right now. They got us fighting for our spirit and mind. You can't stop fighting. All right, so I got one more video that I want to play. Just let me pull it up. And we're going to listen to this because I like to give a good contrast to... I like to give a good contrast to all of the talks. And I don't like just staying on one person. So this is, let me see, bringing the church home, all in God's plan, God's great plan, church go home, remove the surrounding enemy. Let me see, unfolding before us is God's plan to finish harmony in the West Bank war against Israel. Is that simple as God? So I'm looking at one of the YouTube channels I follow. It's News 3361. He got 28,000 subscribers, and he don't look like the usual person that you would probably see me or think I would pull up, and that's why I want to listen to some of what he's talking about. And also he's a Christian. That's the only way I know how to put it. So let me see
if you're not
about what he said.
$158,000.
An action of God and seeing a bigger picture, fulfilling prophecies in Scripture. Let me see what he, at least
Free program called QuickBooks.
Topic of planning in.
It's always good to be around like-minded people, right? And so welcome all of you here to this channel and to my website. I want to try to give you a big picture today. I want you to see this picture because it'll help organize in the different steps that are about ready to take place. I believe they are. Before we get into that, let's just touch on the news a little bit. Let's get into Gaza Strip.
Yeah, I know how it is getting in front of that mic. You be tired. Dang, he done upgraded. So, ironically, he was reading from Daniel. Let's see what he read.
Going to the king, Nebuchadnezzar. Then he had a dream, and Daniel interprets this, and this is the different powerful nations as we go on down to, you're going to see here today, to this particular time. I think you should be able to draw to that conclusion. Okay, let's get into it here, folks. Let's see.
Hold on, wait. This ain't going to fit. This might not fit into what I'm talking about, but the Spirit said, listen.
But there is a God in heaven. You can see it, okay, yes. There's a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and make known to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, that shall be in, here we go, this is the part I want you to see, in the latter days. Thy dream, again, and the vision of the head upon the bed where Nebuchadnezzar was sleeping are these. Now he's going to go on and describe this, but I've just picked some scripture out here. Okay, so we can go on here. This image head.
I can't get it. I can't find the part that I'm looking for. So, hold on. I gotta find. Because I want to give this talk in a different, well, push this talk in a different way before we go off for the day. because I want to get a pastor to speak it.
How many of you know that God is doing something great in your life? Let me see your hands.
All right, here we go. Listen.
And how many of you know that the enemy is going to...
This is Keon Henderson TV YouTube channel. They got 561K subscribers. And this video actually is Pursuing the Plan. Pastor Keon Henderson. That's funny. Pastor Keon Henderson on YouTube. And I wanted to get a pastor to speak something about the Creator's higher plan. And it didn't have to be Christianity. I just wanted to stay there just to keep it in a certain realm and in a certain light. Just bear with me.
To distract you on the way. I'm going to give you some tools so that you can become unstoppable. Somebody shout, I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. All right. Let's go to Acts chapter 20. Look at verse number 1. And as we do this today, I want you to perceive in your mind that no weapon formed against you will be able to prosper. And that every attack of the enemy is already over before it starts. I want you to hear me. There is no way that you can lose.
Hi there, everyone. It's Sage Robbins.
And it's Tony Robbins.
Hi, Tone.
Sage and Tony, that's what's up. My people.
Only a few of y'all got that because right now you feel like you're losing. I want you to hear, I'm getting ready to prove it to you, but there is no way possible for you to lose. If you started, he who has began to work in you shall establish it until the day of Jesus Christ. The only way to fail is to not start. If you began, you will win. Now, I'm only preaching to those who believe it. So, if you don't believe it, you go sit down so I'll know who I'm not preaching to. And I'm going to only preach to those who are standing up. So I won't look, so you won't hurt my feelings. All right, if you don't think I'm preaching to you, you go ahead and sit down. All right, everybody ready? All right, screen kind of dope too, ain't it? Y'all seen how it came down now? It's dope. We're the only church in America that got it, so y'all should be excited about that. Yes. Touch your name and say, we dope though, we dope. So, I ain't mad for being dope, but that is. All right. But what's gonna be even more dope is when I got that on these two sides too. You see, I already built the infrastructure, you see? See that? Oh, there's a word. See, right now I'm not even using this part over here, but I already got the infrastructure because I know it's coming. See, the problem with waiting until you get it is that you don't have any faith. I don't even have it yet, but I have the infrastructure. The other thing that you can't see is these trusses go all the way into the ground, and they go 25 feet up in the ceiling because the screen is so heavy that I had to distribute the weight. See, if you don't go high enough and deep enough, you won't be able to hold it.
Expansion pack.
So you're gonna have to go deep. You're gonna have to go down enough, but then you're gonna have to raise the standards. You're gonna have to go high enough. And only those who have roots and branches.
Y'all hear that?
Everybody think it's the tree. It's not the tree, it's the roots.
Y'all hear that? Get that root from expansion pack so you can grow.
Touch your name and say, go deeper. Acts chapter 20, verse number 1. And the uproar was ceased. Paul called unto him the disciples and embraced them and departed to go to Macedonia. And when he had gone over those parts and had given much exhortation, he came to Greece. Everybody say Greece. And there abode in other words, he stayed there for how many months? He stayed there for 3 months. He stayed there for 3 months. Let's go down to verse number 4. And he went to Asia and Sopater and Berea and the Thessalonians. Are y'all with me so far? And Aristarchus, he went there. And after he left there, guess where he went? Secundus, he went there, and Gaius and Derbe, and Timotheus, all of Asia. And then guess what? After there, he went to Chios and to Trophonius. And then he went from there and tarried to a place called Troas. Everybody say Troas. And when he went from there, he went to a place called Philippi. I'm trying to show you that all of these different places you've been are nothing more than stops along the journey. And you were not supposed to stay in Thessalonica, and you were not supposed to stay in Timotheus, and you were not supposed to stay in Trophonius. You were not supposed to stay in New Orleans. You were not supposed to stay in Mississippi. You were not supposed to stay in Galveston. All of that was so you could get to Houston and get your breakthrough. I wish I had somebody.
Yes, sir.
And all of them other places, you were not, there are other destinations. You were not supposed to stay broke. You were not supposed to stay depressed. All of that was working together for the good of them. Lord, help me in this place. And he sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread and came unto Troas in 5 days, where he stayed 7 days. Sometimes you got to stay longer than it took you to get there. Whoa. And upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, Paul preached unto them, ready to depart on tomorrow and continue his speech. He preached until midnight. And I know that if Paul started church at 11 o'clock and his sermon lasted to midnight, some of y'all ain't gonna make it to 1 p.m. Some of y'all got a 30-minute limit. Some of y'all got 20 minutes. You start thinking, well, I wonder what them beans doing at home. I wonder if that line gonna be long at the brunch. I'm telling you, I gotta get up there and get out of here before. I wonder what it's gonna be like getting out of the parking lot. He preached to midnight. Now let me just poll the house. How many of y'all will stay if I preach to midnight? Where that oil at, Pastor? I got to rebuke some of them for the fear they just told at the church. I appreciate. Some of y'all tell the truth, like Mama over there. I believe you. I believe you. Raise your hand. You say, I'll be here, Rev. Now watch this. Not only did Paul preach to midnight, the Bible says after he finished preaching, he kept talking. So Paul finished the sermon like all other preachers and had another close. Y'all, how many times I say, I'm almost done? Y'all be like, You ain't no almost done. Y'all got me down to a science. We're like, well, Rev say he almost done, that mean he halfway done. And then when he say he almost finished, that mean he got 20 minutes left. And then when he say he done, he still got 5 minutes. Yeah, all good preachers close 4 times.
Yes, sir.
And while he was preaching, somebody fell asleep. Boy, don't this sound like the church? The Bible says that boy fell asleep and fell out of the 3rd floor all the way down and died. So they thought. They presumed he was dead. I want to talk about this over the next few moments. I want you to help me. Give your neighbor a high five and say, neighbor, no matter what happens to you, keep pursuing the plan. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. No matter what happens, Brandon.
Yes, sir. Y'all hear it.
Pursue the plan. Somebody shout, I'm going after it.
I'm going after it. And my man's right there.
This text that we're reading catches Paul writing his farewell letter to the church at Ephesus. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, some of y'all need to write your exit strategy. When most of you build relationships, you build entrances, you don't build exits.
Jeez.
When most of you accept jobs, you know everything about how to get in, but you don't know how to use their money to get out.
To get out of that.
Everything that you entered was not designed for you to stay as long as you stayed. It's confirmation according to the scripture. Some of you all came from different cities. How many of you all were not born in Houston? Let me see your hand. Look around. Look around. Look around. Let me ask a better question. Who was born here?
We got a solid 15 minutes of show left.
Do y'all see that?
Do at least 10 of it.
How many of y'all don't know where you was born? Your mama just told you. I just came to be. Sorry, man. I personally know I was born Gary, Indiana. We only had one hospital, it was Methodist. So if you was born in Gary, that's where you was born. My mother, her family, they didn't come from Gary, Indiana. My family came from Birmingham, Alabama. On my father's side, they came from Little Rock, Fort City, Arkansas. Because the truth is every one of you in here, you related to somebody who's not from here. Everybody in here got an uncle, a grandmother, somebody who's from down south and migrated to these areas, and we just stayed. And some of you all came from other places, like for me, from the Midwest. And every once in a while, God will call you to write your farewell letter, and he'll tell you to leave where you are and go someplace else. And I'm going to tell you, it's the hardest thing in the world, because one of the most difficult transitions in the world is to go from comfort to calling.
Lord.
Write that down. Write
Yes,
that down.
sir.
To go from comfort
to calling. 20
to
years
calling,
in the
because where
military
you are
and
right
17
now, some of
years
y'all
retired.
comfortable in life.
Yep.
And you know you got more in you, but you're comfortable. And I think more in you, write that down, to go from well letter, and he'll tell you to leave where you are and go someplace else. And I'm going to tell you, it's the hardest thing in the world, because one of the most difficult transitions in the world is to go from comfort to calling. Write that down. Write that down. To go from comfort to calling, because where you are right now, some of y'all comfortable in life. And you know you got more in you, but you're comfortable. And I think if I'm in the right place, there are some of you who feel stretched, and the stretching is because you are being pulled by your past and called by your future. That's why you're spread so thin. That's why you feel stretched. Yesterday is saying, stay with me. Tomorrow is saying, I have more for you. And it's like the old song that we used to sing. I take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
With HoneyBook, you can make sure your marketing business is as polished and professional as you really are. Here's how. I'm Millie, a content creator coach and business owner. If I had to start my business from zero, I would have focused on building out my client experience with...
Still working. And as long as you keep taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, you will always stay in your yesterday, because you take more steps backwards than you do forward. Sometimes the devil will give you false progress and make you think that just because you went forward, you're going forward. I believe that God has come into the center of this room today by way of the Holy Ghost, and has given me a prophetic word to tell you that he has given you a plan and that he wants you to pursue it. But one of the side effects of pursuing your plan is the devil is also pursuing you. And every time you think you're getting ready to get a breakthrough, you have a breakdown. And every time you get ready to go forward, something happens. Isn't it amazing? The time of the enemy, just when you think everything is going fine, and when everything is about to be smooth, and when you're about to get that big break, here comes something or somebody that gets you off focus. And here you are focusing on this thing that fell out of the window instead of the thing that is giving word out on the stage. Everybody say distractions. Some of us are so easily distracted. Just be honest. It don't take a whole lot. You could be looking at me right now. If somebody got up and started walking out of the door, you'd miss 12 seconds of the sermon. And it's not that it's not that you don't love God. It's not that you don't love the word. Some people can focus and some people cannot. Like for me, my attention span is the kind of attention span that when I'm reading a book, I cannot have any sound around me. Okay? I have to read in silence. I have to be left alone. I can't watch TV and study at the same time. My wife, on the other hand, she could be listening to music in her headphones. Caitlin can be talking to her, and she can be getting it all done at the same time. And I look at her in amazement, because I am the opposite. I have to have silence, but she needs noise. Opposites. Same destiny, same desire, same destination, two different methodologies. I've got to have silence, she's got to have noise. When the house is quiet, she's in heaven. My wife's idea of a good day is laying on her couch in her room, sleeping. I say, baby, what do you want to do today? Sleep more. Me, on the other hand, if I stay in the house 2 hours, I get depressed. I've been at home for the last 2 days. Y'all almost had to call a doctor and come get me. I haven't been out of the house in 2 days, and I had to babysit Caitlin all day yesterday, and I didn't even know. I thank God for having a wife that's a good mother. I can't believe these words came out of my mouth. I asked my wife, I said, what am I supposed to do with her all day? I mean, you're going to be gone from 11 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the night. Can you tell me, what do I do with a child for 9 hours? Because if she stays with me, we're going to be in meetings. She's going to see me power wash in the back of the house. Yes. My wife gives activities. Yes. Okay, today they have free ice cream at Home Depot, and we're going to leave Home Depot, and they're giving away cotton candy down at the, and I don't have, it's, baby, I wish it ain't in me. I want to be better. I'm terrible. She didn't eat breakfast till 11 o'clock.
Hey, I just fed the kids.
Caitlin said, Daddy, is we supposed to eat sometime today?
Yeah, dads are just different. Dads are just
Lord
different.
Jesus. I didn't even know I hadn't fed the child. So if you got a wife or a girlfriend that's a good mama, you praise God for her, because if you're a man, you don't know what you're doing.
Sometimes. Sometimes, yes.
Please welcome President Ronald Reagan, who has a few questions.
All right, so today on Expansion Pack, we visited with 19 Keys over there in the Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel. We also visited with Pastor Keelan Henderson, Pursuing the Plan. Y'all can go check, I think I posted it in the chat. Let me make sure. Yes. So y'all can go check those YouTube channels out yourself and listen to them more. I so encourage you to, when you get that urge to listen to something that's going to fulfill your soul, to put on some of these talks, because the talks right now is within the paradigm. Whereas 20 years ago, 10 years ago, these talks were only had in the churches or in private scientific communities, or even in households, influential households that were able to have these talks. If you were working people, you going to a job every day, or you raising your kids, you got all of these bills, you got these stressors, you looking for that conscious talk or that critical thinking talk in the gaps. You go into work, you may have a homeboy that talk about conscious stuff, or being critical thinking, or being aware, and you may come home and it's silence. Then you may go to the church where they talking spiritual awareness and critical thinking in that light, and then once you come home it's silence. So I encourage you to fill some of that silence in with some of those talks about being a critical thinker here in life, because if we got to build to the next level, we're going to need people who can build. We're not going to need people who are looking for a place to live. We need people who can build the place to live, not just people who looking for a place to live. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tomorrow we will be talking a music related topic. So tune in. If y'all got any suggestions on what we should do or how we should do it, make sure you send it over. Don't forget, we do this every Monday through Friday. Right now we doing 11 to 1. We will be switching that time starting next week. We going back to 9 o'clock on you. I may do it at 9 o'clock on Friday just to test it out. But also, go follow Laylo B. Let me put his Twitch in here. I'm pretty sure it's Laylo B. youtube.com/LayloB88. Make sure y'all go follow LayloB88 on Twitch. He gonna be live tonight from 7 to 9. Laylo Brown presents Identity Groove Collective. Is no longer host right here on the Dan F Man 007 channel. We trying to get LayloB88 to affiliate status, so we're gonna be pumping up his Laylo Brown presents Identity Groove Collective and anything else that he does on his Twitch channel or Facebook channel. So y'all make sure y'all go follow him. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with him. And at 7 o'clock, we all gonna be on there to listen to some good music. He say he got some new stuff playing, so we gonna check it out. This has been another great episode of Expansion Pack here on DGTA TV. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. Y'all tune in again with me tomorrow. We're going to do this thing all over again. Music-related topic. If you got some suggestions, send them in. All right, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. This is DGTA TV. Peace out. I'm going to give y'all some more of this talk
for you
as I leave out.
All of you will go to the polls.
And I didn't pay any attention because I was too busy pursuing my plan. I get up every morning, I go to work. My wife will tell you, I go to work and I like to call her and tell her, okay, I got this done. I got this done. Anything you think I should be doing or thinking about this. And I like to work. And let me tell you, this is a man thing, and women, you'll understand this. Any women want to know why men work so much is because men are satisfied by instantaneous gratification, and work is the only thing that gratifies us right away.
Right.
So when men fix the car, as soon as the car is fixed, it works. A man is a plumber. He paints because as soon as he does that, it's done. The reason why we have trouble with you is because you don't instantaneously gratify us. We'll do something for you, and you'll be saying, you'll call your girlfriend and say, he did all right, but I ain't going to tell him right now because he need to earn it.
Right. Hold on. I'm running that back as we get up out of here.
So when men fix the car, as soon as the car is fixed, it works. A man is a plumber. He paints because as soon as he does that, it's done. The reason why we have trouble with you is because you don't instantaneously gratify us.
Right.
We'll do something for you, and you'll be saying, you'll call your girlfriend and say, he did all right, but I ain't going to tell him right now because he need to earn it. Oh, you better say man. If you can't say man, say ouch. He doing good. I mean, he doing all right, but if I tell him now, he gonna get a big head, and I gotta keep him on all his toes. So I'll tell him after he do it about 7 times. And a man always goes in the direction of the quickest amen. A man always goes in the direction of the quickest attaboy. If you got a dog at your house right now, he'll go to anybody who will pet him. He'll walk out of your house after you have fed him for 10 years and follow somebody that he does not know because of instantaneous gratification.
All right, so as we get up
now, women, you can wipe that smirk off your face. You need to be about gratified instead of looking at me about saying it. Y'all know, why is he up there talking about that?
All right.
Wipe that smirk off your face and get into this word. Amen. Don't make me preach for the men today, women. I will do it. You gonna say amen? Because this is a universal sermon, but it can turn real quickly. The brother said, turn, Reverend, turn.
I'm done. Y'all go follow Pastor Keelan Henderson on YouTube. Keelan Henderson TV. I'm gonna subscribe to him just for that last little bit. All right, we up out of here for the day. I'm gonna check y'all out tomorrow on Expansion Pack here on DGTA TV. Let me check my city out. Yes, sir. I'm up to 700 people now. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Hold on, wait. Odessa DW, you heard of Pastor Keylon before? I don't know if you're still there with me or not, but if you heard of Pastor Keylon, type in the chat, let me know. Because that's cool that I found him and you heard of him before. So let me know.